the basic and simple tool for personal development plan I always suggest is do your own SWOT analysis. Another tool is I always say know your blind spot. In psychological counseling or clinical psychology, knowing one's blind spot is where life-changing moments happen. In a workplace scenario, your personal development plan should always go hand in hand with your career plan. What you like can become a hobby.
Right.
What you're good at is what you will make money.
So welcome to the Thought Feed by Inspirus Solutions Limited. We were having a conversation with Abinash. We already elaborated on how building a learning culture can help. Now that we've set that foundation, we'll further try to understand how personal development programs, which will help employees to grow gradually and then see the outcome that they desired to see. So let's get started with it. Since we spoke on the culture part, the learning
Yes.
culture part. So what are the tools that can help employee create and implement their personal development plans?
That's an interesting question. When it comes to personal or personality development, whenever you focus on a single person, that's what we're speaking, an individual person. The best tool is always to go with SWOT. Strength,
okay.
weakness, opportunity and threat.
Right.
So SWOT analysis is something which I believe nowadays starts from your school. Probably in your 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, you are taught your SWOT. 4 quadrants are created where you write your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities and your threats. So focus on your weakness and opportunity area. That is where your learning should happen.
Okay.
Once you focus on weakness and opportunity, your strength will increase, your threat will extinguish or vanish away. That's the trick of it.
Okay.
But rather naturally, as a response from our brain, we focus more on our threats.
Threat, right.
And we try to eliminate our threats. All these threats arise as part of your weakness and missing your opportunity. So once you focus on your weakness and opportunity, your strengths will increase. You can eliminate your threat. So the basic and simple tool for personal development plan I always suggest is do your own SWOT analysis. SWOT is best. It's old, but still is best. You'll be able to focus on your strengths, your weakness, your opportunity and your threats. That is one way, one tool to do. Another tool is I always say know your blind spot. In psychological counseling or clinical psychology, knowing one's blind spot is where life-changing moments happen. Most of the time, people, when they come to psychological help, which is very rare in India, but you're supposed to do it often. We go to gym every day to keep our body fit. Why don't we have a regular psychological analysis to keep our mind fit? We don't focus it that way. We have ostracized somebody who visits a psychological doctor.
Absolutely.
So nobody wants to be with a person who often visits a psychologist.
A counselor or somebody.
Yes, don't do that. You go to gym, you're not ostracized. So the same is equal to visiting a psychologist. They're going to train your brain, they're going to make your brain better, they're going to make your conscious better, your psyche better. So coming back to the point, the best way to do is focus or find out your blind spots, where you naturally are weak. Every animal is like that. Humans have binocular vision. Our blind spot is always behind us. That is why humans rely more on group activity than on individual activity. Because somebody has to look up my back. Somebody has to protect me from behind. So we are basically social animals. And one of the factors is our vision. We can see what is in front of us. On a peripheral way, we can see.
Extent,
but
yeah.
in the back, after 180 degree, the 181 is blind for me. That's my blind spot. So you have to look at your blind spots in terms of your skill, in terms of your knowledge, in terms of sometimes your character construct. Some people cannot tolerate stress. Some people cannot tolerate insubordination. There are managers who bust out at people not for just focusing on one task that they gave, which is not necessary. You can give them other options. So there are tolerance levels on your character construct, we say, how your character is constructed naturally and environmentally. So all these things will come into play when you want to create a personal development plan. And put it back into the office scenario and a workplace scenario. Your personal development plan should always go hand in hand with your career plan.
Right.
This is where people make a mistake. My personal development plan is to become a trainer. But I'm learning more that is not training, how is going to help me? So in the end, I'm going to learn for my self satisfaction, not for my career growth. If I learn for self satisfaction, I'll be able to learn only for a limited period of time, because the learning is not going to give me any result back in terms of money, in terms of career development, in terms of knowledge development. So I always urge to anybody who comes to me, I need to become a better person. I always say, please align your personal development plan with your career development.
Right.
Once you align both in the same way, you will focus on learning things which will help you see immediate results. Results that happen over a month, that happen over a year, instead of waiting for 5 years and 10 years. So first tool is SWOT. Second is try to focus on your blind spot. And third is align your personal development plan with your career development plan. Once you align both, it will be really good. Once you align this, what happens is you become more career focused person. And once you become a career focused person, learning becomes an essential toolkit in your survival. Because you need to improve your career, you have to learn more. That becomes an essential part of your everyday routine, where nobody will have to force you to learn. Learning becomes natural. Most successful people learn naturally. Nobody forced them to learn anything. Right. They learned naturally, they implemented it, and they saw development in their career, in business, office, whatever it is. But early stages of their life, knowingly or unknowingly, they aligned their personal development plan with their career development plan. And another important thing, please take time to choose your career. Don't rush.
Yeah, that is a big question that
yes,
many people would have. And I remember when I was in that dilemma, how to go about it.
Yes.
And also the problem comes when you don't get the right guidance.
Yes.
Although you know your strengths, there's so much out there that you are confused whether my entire skill set would be useful in this particular domain or that area, which field. It's a very confusing thing.
So there are two factors which influence people on choosing their career. The first factor is an obvious one: how much compensation is going to happen to me in a shorter period of time. Will I make more money in 5 years, or will I make less money in next 5 years? So career compensation is factor one, and which influences most youngsters when they choose career. And second factor is how well informed my environment is. There are people who don't know a particular stream called aerodynamics exists in engineering. All they know is mechanical, electrical, and computer science. So, two things will shape up a person's career. First one is the compensation that you're looking for. Second one is your environment and the knowledge and the guidance that you can get from. My suggestion to all youngsters, if somebody who is about to start their career, is always remember your career should be an activity or a field where you are okay to be stressed out all 7 days.
Okay.
In spite of the compensation. If there is something that you are okay with being stressed out, all 7 days, I'm not saying 5 days, all 7 days, then that is your career. Because I've done continuous training for 37 days, trust me or not. In my career at one point of time, without leave on Saturday and Sunday, I did a full stretch of 37 days, back-to-back training, and I trained 273 people on that time.
This is possible only if you're passionate to do it and take that extra mile to, accept the fact that there will be trouble and there will be a lot of hard work involved.
You have to pay the price end of the day, Amma.
Right.
So in personal development plan, remember the one mantra or one magical line is choose a job that you are ready to stress out all 7 days, no matter what. Without compensation, with compensation, you're fine with it. Choose a job that gives you that. Then that job becomes your career. You don't choose a career. You never choose a career. All of us choose a job. And that job becomes a career, provided we are passionate about it. That is why when you go to an office, out of 100 people, hardly 20-25 will have a career-focused way of doing their job. The remaining 75 will not have a career-focused way. They'll have job-focused way. When is my next appraisal? When is my next hike? When I'm going to get more money? The problem is I'm not advocating against working for money. I am working for money. I need more money. I'm not going to say no to any money. If you're paying me an extra 50K a month, will I say no to it? No, nobody will say no.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to focus on here is money is an ancillary effect of you becoming a better person in what you do.
Right.
It's just an ancillary effect. You become the best of what you do. People are going to pour money into you and say, you are the person I want to do the job with. Come with me, please. But rather, if you start focusing on making more money than becoming the best version of yourself, you'll end up having a career death in 7 years. That's happening a lot nowadays if you look into LinkedIn. Career death. You know what is a career death?
No idea.
There is no more growth for you to grow there. You're sealed.
Okay.
You're sealed there, especially in software. I see a lot of young men and women who get into it for the compensation that they get, but still at one point of time, they're not able to take the stress the job comes with. They're not able to scale up to a limit because they're out of college. When they are young, it's easy to learn many things, but once you cross the age of 30, unless and until you're interested in a particular topic, you will not be able to learn it.
I think this is so true. This is absolutely true. I mean, in fact, to an extent where what I like,
Yes.
that itself is a first question for which we need to get an answer.
Yes.
And that will, like you said, it drives you towards that way where you are ready to, take
Yes.
that load for an entire 7 days.
Yes.
Okay.
So, coming back to where we left, people hit career deaths. So, after an age, I'm not going to learn things that I don't like. I'm not going to change my character. The environment is toxic. It is toxic to you, not to everybody.
Correct.
What is poison to a human being may end up being food to other animals in food chain. So, I cannot blame it. It is poisonous to me. But people who are in the same environment thrive and they make more money, they make better careers. We can simply blame and say, no, they are using the wrong tools of the trade and all. That is there for a small limit of people. It's easy to shame people saying that you got the promotion through a different way. It's easy to say that, but it is not that way when you really look into it. What's the fraction of people make up really good career by doing favors? Very, very minimal. Very, very minimal. In any company for the given factor. You have to be really good at a job to earn that. And for that, you have to keep continuously learning. So when people choose their job, they should not choose career death. If you choose career death, what happens? People resign after 27, 28. You see a lot of youngsters posting in Insta and LinkedIn. You see, I have started following my passion. I'm going to become a photographer now. Or I'm going to become a teacher now. I'm becoming a gym coach now. Which you should have done 6 years before. You would have become a coach by this time and you should have even become a gym owner.
Right. I think COVID has done that. Post-COVID, people have actually come up with, all these ideas.
There are people who say, I want to have a startup,
Yeah.
which is good. But but imagine if you are 22, you had that all young, rushing blood, your startup would have succeeded by this time. So if you want to focus on short-term benefits like compensation and comfortable living and lifestyle, yes, you're going to miss your career a lot in your later ages. You will hit up a ceiling. You will end up having a cap on you and nobody will be able to break the cap, even yourself. I've seen that happening. So if you want to have a focus on your personal development plan, remember, choose the right job. And for that, there is only one rule. You should be ready to stress it out all 7 days. I'll tell you why. People who see this may sometimes say, or they may sometimes even critique me saying that, why should I stress out all 7 days? I'm a human. I'm supposed to work 5 days and enjoy 2 days. Life doesn't work that way. If you want to become an excellent person in your career, time is the only price that you have to pay. Even if you have your own business, let's say, even if you run your own company, you cannot just like that take away your week off. You will be given week off, but your mind will be always on your job. So ensure that your mind is always on something that you like at least, something that you don't hate.
Yeah.
So the notion of having a job which I should forget after 5 days, the 2 days, the job should not disturb me. Really good. I appreciate you. But after 7 years, you're not going to go, you're going to be there. If you're okay with that, I'm happy. You take that job. I don't bother. But if you want to have that lifestyle in your early stages where 5 days I work, I forget everything 2 days, and after 7 days I want to be in a peak of my career, sorry, it's not going to work out. It doesn't work that way. You either get this or you get that. So if you want to have a personal development plan, first have a proper SWOT of yourself. Look at your blind spots. Align your learning path with your career path. And fourth, please choose a job that you're ready to stress out all 7 days. Once you choose a job that you're ready to stress out all 7 days, I'll give you in writing, there will be a day, there will be an opportunity in your career. It may come at any point. I cannot promise that. Where you will have your limelight, you will have your stage. It may happen in your 17th year, your 7th year, or 7th month. But it will happen.
Right. So the core point that you are trying to highlight here is that do what you like.
Do what really you're good at.
Good at, yeah.
What you like is always your hobby, Amni. Remember that. I always say this whenever I do campus training. There is a concept called campus immersion, where students are right fresh out of college. Before coming into a work environment, they'll undergo 2 to 3 days of workshop for them to understand what is accountability, what is responsibility, how a job office works and everything. There I always say them, you cannot like your job, but you should be good at it.
Okay.
Whatever you like
That's
is always
the
your
difference.
hobby.
Right.
How will you like something that makes you stress out all 7 days? You lose the liking for it.
Okay.
You will always lose the liking for it. But if you're good at it, no matter how stressful, naturally you'll be able to do it. You want to know the best example is sports people. I always say this to fresh crowd or crowd less than 3 years. What is the world record for Usain Bolt? Less than 8 seconds or somewhere. That 8 seconds is what mattered for him to become the world record holder. How many hours he trained for it? Nobody talks about it.
Right.
He was able to achieve that particular period of time to hold a record. He invested so many weekends. He didn't drink. He didn't go out with his friends who were his peers, who are his co-sports people. There are people who took off when Bolt was training, who trained along with him. He was not the only runner from Jamaica, right? Jamaica is known for creating a lot of sprinters. He took that extra effort, not because he liked it. You know what? Bolt likes football.
Oh, okay.
There was a time where he was asked, what would you like to do if you retire? He said, I may become a football player, but I like playing football. He's not good at football. He likes football, but he's good at running. Remember that. Choose what you're good at, not what you like. What you like will become a hobby. I like it is like a particular period of time. I may like it today. Tomorrow I may not like it. Most of us wanted to become doctors in school, did we?
Yeah, I think more than half of the school said that.
Yes. I want to become doctor, lawyer, policeman.
Yeah. All fancy terms then.
We didn't become. We liked it as a child.
Yeah.
As children, we liked it. But we don't like it now. We are here doing what we are good at. But do you think when we were asked in our 13s and 14s, I would have answered a trainer? No. Would you have answered something in the field that you are expertise now? No. It will be a different one. But you're good at it, so you are here today. So don't go beyond the liking term. That is a very wrong way to guide young people. Do what you like. Please don't follow it. What you like can become a hobby.
Right.
What you're good at is what you will make money. You may or may not like it, but your brain and body is designed for it. Certain people are good in certain things. It is decided. You cannot change it. Choose it. Find it and follow it. You will have a career. You will have fantastic life.
So this is like a huge. I don't know. Even I never thought this way. That liking something and being good at something could be two different things.
Two different things. Yes.
Okay. So are there any methods to monitor or review the PDPs here?
The best method so far that we implement in learning about the effectiveness of any training is always Kirkpatrick's model. So if you go, it will be like a pyramid where it starts with behavioral change, it goes on up to all the levels. So that's the best one.
Okay.
If you want to go in depth on anything, especially on a personal development plan, the best is always the improvement in quality of the output, not the quantity first.
Okay.
So let's say Yamini is in communication or in a corporate communication area of a particular office, where you're responsible for internal communication, information sharing, and excellent communication. If Yamini is undergoing a course that is going to improve her media skills, the first reflection should be the quality of work, not the quantity of work.
Okay.
But the opposite happens from the operations head or the operations side. They expect people to do more quantity of work if they get trained. That is where training and operation always has a clash. It's simple. What they ask is, he's trained, can he do more work? Boss, no. He's trained to do more quality work, not more quantitative work.
Correct.
If you want more quantity, you have to increase the hours of working he has. You have already peaked his performance in terms of quantity. All that is missing is quality. Because quality improves as long as you are more informed, more trained.
Right.
So training aspects mostly concentrate on the quality of job, not the quantity of job. But it is inversely expected from the business end. Because they spend some time, they spend money on training, the immediate expectation is, will it affect my bottom line number? Will it increase my dollar value? It doesn't work that way. I told you, right?
Right.
It doesn't work that way in training. So your quality increases. So what will happen if quality increases? If quality increases, you can deploy him for better valued activities than what he or she is currently doing. So it is not like having somebody in role A and improving the quantity they deliver. No. They should go to role B where they deliver more valuable work than the mundane work they're already doing in role A. That's how training works.
Okay.
But we see it in an opposite way. We keep them in the same role and expect more revenue to come. The training actually is to move him to a more revenue generating role rather than keeping them in the same role.
Correct.
That is how training works. So if that movement is happening, then your PDP is perfectly working.
Okay.
Personal development plan. So that is one way. The other one is Kirkpatrick's model. So first one is, as I told you, there's a model. Second is your transformation from a role to another role. If individuals want to measure their own development plan, you should focus on achieving milestones.
Okay.
Because every improvement comes with a milestone, right? A child grows, what we keep it as a scale is the height it grows, the weight it gains. When you go to a pediatrician, what he asks? The age of your child and what's the weight of your child or the height of the child. Why? Because it's a milestone. For a particular growth, it is the measurable milestone. So in your personal development plan, when you create a personal development plan that you align with your career, always have milestones. Where once you achieve this, this should have happened. This should have changed. This should have implemented.
Correct.
Once you achieve these milestones, it means you are in the right way to your PDP. The same is how people keep for projects. Every project will have a milestone. Initial stage, ideation stage, skeleton stage, coding stage, debugging stage, implementation stage, run through stage. There are stages. Why don't we have the same for your personal development plan? You have your ideation stage. Okay, my ideas are ready. What's next? My implementation stage. Okay, started my training. Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? If you create milestones, you'll be able to see visible breakages. Once you break a milestone, you move to the next box. You break it, you move to the next box. That will give you a visible clarity on where you are.
So that way, all the aspects in within that time frame are achieved.
Exactly.
So that also makes it easier. It is less stressful.
Yes. So one stone at a time.
Correct.
Instead of trying to pull the entire boulder or entire mountain away, you just pick one stone at a time. One stone at a time. You can even drain down an entire mountain of stones.
Correct.
It's easy that way.
So, since that you've explained how we can monitor it, post that, how do you think this will be useful, or what could be the benefits that the learner or the employer as well as the organization can gain from a PDP?
Yes. See, whenever it comes to benefits of an organization, it comes with various aspects. Most visible aspect is revenue increase, and most focused is also revenue increase. So that is one way. I'm not denying it. Revenue should increase, it should increase. But there are other aspects of an organization which plays a critical role, often gone unseen.
Like?
One of them is your client retention. How often the same client comes back to you? which says your business is healthy or not. So your client retention will increase if you have quality people around you serving your clients.
Right.
And third is how strong your market retention is, your percentage in market. If I'm holding 7% of market value, if I'm increasing, good, or if I'm holding, good, I should not decline. Most time when the market expands, the revenue number goes really high, but your market percentage goes down. So let's say my revenue is $1 million. I'm able to make $2.7 million next year. Sounds good, sounds exciting, more than 100%. But you take the market cap. I used to serve 7% of the market. Now I'm serving only 2%. What this means, the market has expanded, but I'm not. I'm actually shrinking. So when people try to, or when organizations try to combine and see the effort of a personal development plan along with the organization development plan, which is PDP versus ODP, they focus most on revenue. But I urge to see other aspects like your client retention, your market share retention, your client satisfaction score. We say CSC, client satisfaction score, CSS.
Okay.
So how satisfied your clients are, how happy they are being with you on board. And another important factor we are all forgetting is we live in an age where disruptive technologies often knock your door every month nowadays. Previously it was years, before it was decades. So I'll put it into this perspective. A company which was started in 2003 or 2000s, do you think they would have planned a separate campaign for social media marketing, a separate money? Definitely not. For them, it's a marketing campaign money. Now, every company is planning a separate marketing planner for social media.
Social media, yes.
Print separately. That's a disruption.
Okay.
If you don't follow all these success factors, apart from revenue, your client retention, your client satisfaction, your market retention, and all those, you will become a victim to market disruptive technologies. Like how Yahoo went off. Simple example. Like how box office went off. With Netflix, they are not able to run.
Correct.
So there are a lot of stuffs. How theaters are now suffering to run against OTTs. Best example, in our own time. Imagine somebody equipping a theater in the year 2015 with 3 crore, 4 crore of backup money. Will anybody do that now? Will they renew their theaters with so much money? They just want to maintain it. They don't want to include anything new. Why? Because they know OTT is killing them slowly. But what if they've kept customer satisfaction? My first question. Will you be happy to go back to theaters paying thousands of bucks for the movie that you see for free in OTT for subscription? No, I'm not happy. My customer retention is not there.
Right.
My customer satisfaction is not there. My market share is gone. But theaters always look for their revenue. They say, I made 75 lakhs last month. This month my focus is 1 crore. Increase the price of popcorn. Increase the price of other things, other services. They're slowly dying.
Right.
But if instead of focusing only on revenue, if they focused on customer retention, customer satisfaction score, and market retention, OTT will be there. But still people would love to go to theaters. But they missed everything. And they're not going back. And can they blame the customer for that?
No.
The same is for organization and a personal development plan. A personal development plan should go hand in hand with an organization development plan, provided, again, an underline, a quote, provided the company focuses the growth of its own people on all the aspects, not just on revenue. If you focus only on revenue, the personal development plan will never make it up to organizational growth. They always think that I've invested so much money in PDP of all my employees, but I did not get my revenue back. They always crib about it. It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
So it has to work out in all the aspects. As I told you, because disruptive technologies can come. Best example is AI. There was a huge crowd of people called content creators or content writers. You remember? Now where they are? Most of their jobs have gone just like that with a subscription of $700. If you subscribe with around $700 to an AI, it can create fantastic content. It can create critical accolades for all those things that you want a human to sit and write. And it can work for you 24/7. It doesn't take yearly 2 weeks vacation. It doesn't ask a sick leave. It doesn't ask 2 days of leave. So what happened to those content writers? They have become freelancers now. Disruptive technology.
Yeah, so I think maybe here we also need to know how this technology we can use so that it benefits us, and then there is a job security that also we have.
That will happen only when your employees are happy with you, when they are contented with you, and when they feel secure to work with you as an employer.
Okay.
Yes. If you are not secure with me, if you are not giving me any personal development growth, if I'm not seeing any of my career moving, why would I stick in a sinking ship with you, especially when AI is hitting back? I'll try to go to a more safer ship where people are secure, their jobs are secure. So if you focus only on revenue, on the bottom line, all these other aspects of having a healthy business drains out. So if you want your personality development plan of any individual to catch up with an organizational development, you should not measure it only through revenue.
Okay.
You should measure it with all the other aspects, especially customer and market. If you measure it with customer and market, it will never go out of business. The disruptive technology may come, it will give you a temporary problem, but your people will help you to focus. They will come up with ideas. When I say your people are employees.
Yeah.
But if you have an employee who doesn't bother whether you sink or not, they're going to jump to another ship where you're going to end up being like Yahoo. All the great minds in Yahoo, where they work now? They work either in Google or other companies. People left, but the company died. People don't die with companies, remember that. They go to the next living company.
Correct.
But the company dies miserably. So people who manage organization, especially C-suite leaders, board of directors, if you're seeing it, please focus on that. Because only with the help of people, all of us will be able to embrace or withstand the disruptive technologies that are about to come. We need people who will work with us dedicatedly. And for that, we need to focus on their development. We need to give them confirmation that, boss, I worry about you, you worry about my business. Let's go to hand in hand. That's how it's a war. It's a long war. Can be won only with trust and growth mutually happening. Otherwise, it's difficult. People will skip off jobs. They'll learn new technology. The company will die. Company won't be there.
Right. I mean, I want to understand now in a better approach or on a brighter side, how do we look at this situation?
Okay. The situation is brighter, to be honest. So, to put it in a different way, that how PDP is going to impact, or how is going to do with the organization development plan is, if PDP is implemented properly, the organization is going to have a better client score. It's going to gain more market share. It's going to retain more resources that are useful in the future part of the organization. And another important aspect, if PDP is implemented right, we can create in-house leaders. We don't have to look out in the market when a leadership role comes or when a situation comes for more leaders to be incorporated.
Right.
So you can create an ecosystem where you breed future leaders inside the organization, which will be helpful for the people to look up to somebody. So growing in the own organization in an organic way, being with a longer period of time, increased customer awareness, customer satisfaction, increased market share, all together will definitely hit your revenue number.
Correct.
So on a positive note, if you do, or if your individuals do proper PDP, and if it's implemented and taken seriously, that's very important. If it's taken seriously and if it's implemented properly by those individuals, they'll end up becoming future leaders. And that in turn will add lots and lots of value for both customer as well as the market. Okay. So which will help us withstand any disruptive technology that comes into play. Because we will be ready to adapt. The best way to fight with the disruptive technology is to adapt according to it. To pick up and use it as our tool instead of seeing it as a doom on us.
Right.
So that will happen only when employees are there already trained well, already ready to take the next leap. When they're ready to take the next leap, they'll take the organization along with them. That's how great companies have grown. You take Apple, you take Indian companies, Tata, Mahindra, You take TCS, Infosys, all this happened because employees traveled with companies for a longer period of time, and when they left, the company left along with them. And
Right.
that's the end of a great success story. Anywhere you go, that's the formula.
Correct. So I think so. Basically, the message that Abinash has for all the employees here is using these technologies for our advantage at work and not actually get scared of it. I think this session was more educative because there were many tools involved in it. We discussed SWOT analysis and then the blind spot, basically that which comes under the Johari window, section, and also how employees and organization can benefit from the personal development plans, where we covered important points such as employee engagement, retention, and overall organizational growth. So I guess it was as educative as it was for me, for all of you. So thank you, Abinash, for
Thank
today's
you.
session. We are going to be back with yet another interesting topic, and Abinash will continue to be with us. So stay tuned. This is the Thought Feed, brought to you by Inspirus Solutions Limited.
Preparing employees from the early stages by dividing quadrants and focusing on everything will help us create future leaders where people will have longer tenuity, longer career with the same company. Otherwise, they'll jump to jobs where their particular skill is valid. If the validity is over in that company, then I become redundant. I have to jump another company. But if I am holistically groomed by my company, whatever opportunity comes, I'm already ready.